Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. President William Ruto's official website, president.go.ke, was hacked yesterday. And I want to talk about the political aspect of that hacking because nobody is talking about it. But first of all, let us try to understand how these guys did it. After compromising the website, these guys went to the homepage and changed the content. Actually, they replaced it with some ransom message. And then they left some cryptocurrency wallet address where their ransom was supposed to be wired. Around 5 Bitcoin, which is equivalent to around 41 million Kenyan shillings. And then they went further and altered the website banner to reference some 3 individuals, which means that 3 individuals were actually involved. And based on my own observation, it is clear that these guys were actually Kenyans, because in most cases, if they are foreigners, like if they were Russians, they would have left those traces of their language. Ladies and gentlemen, what were the objectives or motives of this hacking? I want us to begin from the cybersecurity aspect of it. Because for me in this video, I want to focus more on the political objective, if any, of this cyber attack. So the question is, what were the objectives? You can clearly tell the objectives from the message which these guys left on the homepage. And for me, the first objective, because there are only 2 objectives, the first objective is financial extortion and blackmail. And if you are keen, these guys placed a demand of 41 million Kenyan shillings. And because they are sharp, they decided to create a sense of urgency and a sense of fear. How did they do that? They were very clear that this is our 3rd warning. Remember, nobody saw first warning, nobody saw second warning. But they're saying this is our 3rd warning. And that if you don't act, we are going to leak some sensitive information which are uncomfortable. And they even left time frame by 6 p.m. So they created that fear of leaking sensitive information, and then time frame by 6 p.m. if they don't see anything. As we speak, we don't know whether the government hid or the government is actually fixing it. Maybe the second objective is just for sure. Most of these hackers, they just enjoy it. They wanted to expose the government. They wanted to tell the government that your digital infrastructure is vulnerable. As a matter of fact, Kenyans are actually questioning that if the government cannot secure its own website, how then can they secure e-citizen? Ladies and gentlemen, those are the cybersecurity aspect of it. But on this channel, we analyze politics. I want to talk about the political aspect of this attack. And I want you guys to pay very close attention. Before I do it, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or 2, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, I'm looking at this attack differently. Number 1, I'm seeing it as a scheme to reshuffle the cabinet. So the question we should ask ourselves, who is in charge of ICT in the Republic of Kenya? William Kabogo. And let me ask you a question. Is he doing a good job? Is he qualified for that job? Maybe yes, maybe no. That one will depend with you. But now the real politics is that the by-election in Ol Kalou is going to force William Ruto to reshuffle his cabinet. And some leaders will have to pave way. And I can bet that some of the leaders who are likely to pave way are from Mount Kenya. Because Mount Kenya has the highest number of cabinet secretaries in government. These guys could not deliver in Ol Kalou. In fact, they humiliated the president. So if you were to ask me, this ministry is going to be affected with that cabinet reshuffle. And I want you guys to listen to this statement here.
In reciprocity, the president has assigned over 9-10 cabinet secretaries to the region. The bulk of the permanent secretaries from this region, in this government, are from the region called Mount Kenya. About 17 or 18 of the 51. The bulk of chairs of state corporations are from Mount Kenya. The bulk of CEOs in this government are from Mount Kenya. The president has a mandate and a responsibility to reciprocate those who showed him favor. But if by the time they get to 2027, they decide to move out of government, that will be unfortunate. The architecture of the government will then change fundamentally based on the broad-based partnership. That is the nature of politics.
Number two, you know, we had a by-election in Ol Kalou, and the ruling party was humiliated, and it became the talk of the country. As a matter of fact, it was at night, the results were announced at night. Then in the morning, Kenyans were still talking about it. What happened then? Kaboom. Cyber attacks. Yeah, so for me, I'm looking at it as a strategy to divert the attention of the country from discussing Ol Kalou, from allowing Rigathi Gachagua and his statement to spread, because remember how Rigathi Gachagua really attacked the president in Ol Kalou during their Thanksgiving tour. And maybe, I think this was intended to divert the attention. I know I'm right on this, I'm not wrong. And number three, and this is something which I know we've been asking ourselves here. Who is leaking state secrets to Rigathi Gachagua? Where do they work? Is there a possibility that the government are trying to remove people who are holding some key positions which allows them access to some information? So they create these kind of scenarios, and then the entire departments in government are going to be reshuffled. They new people maybe. Because the truth is, and I remember this thing happened to Uhuru Kenyatta when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. William Ruto would get information verbatim. And the reason why Uhuru removed Itumbi was because Itumbi was the suspect. But after that, this information kept on sneaking and leaking until we went to the election. Raila, Uhuru, and their top team would meet. Even before they left the meeting, then Ruto had all the information. Rigathi has each and every information about this government. I think the government has tried to figure out who could be behind this. So the strategy now is, let us hack this website, convince people that some people have failed to perform their duties because some people have access to here. Then you reshuffle people in government. Some will be removed from the office of the president, some will be removed from the interior, just reshuffling. So that if there's any element who was leaking information to Rigathi, they are not going to be able to do that. And number four, and this could also be true, that someone somewhere is just out to sabotage the president. Could be true. So who could be this person sabotaging the president? Because the truth is, William Ruto came to office. This is almost the second or the third attacks. There's a day they attacked several institutions. So there's someone trying to sabotage the president by telling him, boss, you don't know your work. And lastly, I don't want to rule out the possibility of a Gen Z who is one term, sharp boy, doing this thing. Because these young people, they're very smart. They're very sharp. Yeah? Maybe it's them. They're sending a warning. Yeah, I don't know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm wrong about my political aspect to this hacking or not. Until next time, leave Makwiny, bye-bye.